How are y'all doing today? I'd like to talk to you guys about kick and recoil. Now, in real life, they mean the same thing, but to make this example work, I'm kind of giving a different name of the same thing, so you kind of understand what I'm talking about. So you have a couple attachments in the game that say recoil control and some say recoil stability, right? So you might be wondering what the difference is. I've seen a lot of theories on this and we'll get into that a little later, but this is what I think it is. And I've done some testing to see if it's true. I think I'm pretty close to being true. If you can do some testing of your own, feel free to do it. So kick goes backwards, right? It makes your gun push into your shoulder, right? If it was a knife, you'd be stabbing yourself constantly. Now recoil makes your gun go upwards, right? So if you had teammates up there, you would probably want recoil control if you're playing hardcore, right? Like let's say your teammate is on the second floor, you're trying to shoot this dude in the first floor, but you're not very good at controlling your recoil. You would want to go 100% recoil control. Now let's say that the gun itself doesn't have a lot of recoil, so you're more into the stability. You don't want your gun to hit back, right? Like kick back to your shoulder, because that causes your weapon to move, your aim down sights to get all messy, and I'll show you guys in a little bit. I'll provide an example, right, of a weapon without attachments and then a weapon with a recoil stability and recoil control, so you can see the difference. I'll put like like right there, no attachments, right? That's with no attachments, and I'm shooting it multiple times so you see that there is indeed a pattern. It's not just random recoil, like there is a pattern. And as you can see, the weapon is kicking back as well, and so this is only recoil control. As you can see, the weapon itself is more controlled, and this is not me doing anything with the analog stick or anything like that. It's just shooting the weapon, automatic fire. Just the weapon itself does not move upwards that much. Now this is with recoil control and stabilization. As you can see, there is more recoil, but the sights are less messy, right? It's not all over the place. It's kind of just constant, like it's not kicking your shoulder back. Now this is only recoil control. It's not mixed. There is no other attachments, just recoil control, and this is just recoil stabilization, right? There's supposed to be less kick. Now when you mix it up with recoil control and recoil stabilization, it becomes better. Again, recoil control, weapon doesn't move upwards, but it does move backwards. This recoil stabilization, weapon does not move backwards, but it does move upwards. Now some theory I did see is that some people seem to think that recoil stability makes your gun not move horizontally, right, from left to right. But as I showed you guys, it does. Look, this is with pure recoil control, right? It doesn't go past the right side of the door frame. Look at it. Right? Now I'm going to show you with recoil stabilization how it does right now. It goes past the door frame, so it doesn't counter the horizontal movement. It remains the same, but it does kick way less, right? The weapon does not. Basically, put it this way, if you were looking through a scope, right, it was like right on your eye, right on your eyeball. If you had zero recoil stabilization, your eyeball would probably pop out, because the scope would hit, would kick back, and your eyeball would pop out. Now if you had 100% recoil stability, that scope would remain there. It would not move whatsoever, but the tip of the weapon would go indeed up or whatever, to the side, whatever. So I don't think that stability helps your gun not move horizontally. I think recoil control is basically what controls your entire recoil. The pattern will remain the same. It's not like it's going to change, as I showed you. So that means that if your weapon goes 100% to the right, like that's the recoil pattern of your weapon, then that's the recoil pattern that you will always have, no matter if you have recoil control or recoil stability. Like that's the recoil pattern. So it's just that hopefully you found this informative. Now you can feel free to do some testing of your own. Maybe you think I'm incorrect, maybe you have done some testing and you see that it does something completely different. If that's the case, please let me know down in the comments. But that is pretty much what I see, right? This is what I have concluded from my testing. I don't know if it's correct, I don't know if it's incorrect. Like I said, if you've done some testing of your own, feel free to leave it down in the comments. If you have different theories and all of that, feel free to leave it down in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you soon.